Have you ever heard of nymphs? These enchanting guardians of nature are known for their beauty and grace. But what if I told you they also have a dark side, full of vengeance and wrath? Today, we will uncover rarely told stories, showing how the fury of these minor deities can be as devastating as any curse from the Olympian gods. Get ready for tales of beauty and darkness, where not everything beautiful is harmless, and not all vengeance comes from the gods.
Nymphs, connected to nature, vary from naiads in rivers, dryads in trees, to oreads in mountains. With their enchanting beauty, they attracted both mortals and gods, but this beauty could also be a curse. They were the guardians of natural balance, gentle but relentless when provoked. Their wrath could be unleashed on anyone who dared to disturb their domains or scorn their affections. A clear example of this vengeance is the story of Echo and Narcissus. Echo, a mountain nymph, was cursed by Hera to only repeat the last words she heard, unable to speak for herself. When Echo fell in love with Narcissus, a handsome youth obsessed with his own reflection, she was cruelly rejected. Heartbroken, Echo withered away until only her voice remained. In revenge, Nemesis, the goddess of retribution, caused Narcissus to fall in love with his own reflection. Unable to tear himself away, he too withered, trapped by his obsession. This story shows how wrath and vengeance can turn even the most beautiful creatures into instruments of justice and retribution, revealing an unexpected side of the nymphs.
But Echo and Narcissus are just the beginning. Now, let's explore the Erinyes, also known as the Furies. Although they aren't traditional nymphs, they share the same vengeful spirit. The Erinyes personified vengeance against serious crimes like murder and perjury. They were relentless, hunting down the guilty and torturing them with remorse and nightmares. A famous example is Orestes, who killed his mother Clytemnestra to avenge his father Agamemnon's death. The Erinyes pursued him relentlessly, tormenting him with horrific visions and unbearable guilt until the gods intervened. These stories of the Erinyes expand our view of nymphs and their vengeful counterparts, showing that divine justice can be terrifying. In Greek mythology, vengeance knows no bounds.
And it's not just the Erinyes that exemplify the vengeful side of nymphs. The water nymphs, known as naiads, also have their dark stories. Hylas was a handsome youth, companion to Hercules. During an expedition, he went to fetch water from a spring inhabited by naiads. Enchanted by his beauty, the nymphs pulled him into the water, and Hylas disappeared forever. Hercules searched desperately, but Hylas was never found. This story shows how the naiads could be dangerous, turning a simple quest for water into a tragedy. These narratives reveal the power of nymphs and how their wrath or desire can have devastating consequences, further adding to the complexity of these mythological figures.
But the wrath of nymphs wasn't limited to innocent youths. Let's talk about Salmachus and Hermaphroditus. Salmachus was a nymph who lived in a secluded spring. One day, Hermaphroditus, the son of Hermes and Aphrodite, came to bathe. Upon seeing him, Salmachus fell in love instantly. She tried to seduce him, but he rejected her. Desperate, she begged the gods to unite their bodies forever. The gods granted her wish, merging them into a single androgynous being. Hermaphroditus, now part of Salmachus, was condemned to live with this duality forever. This story shows the obsessive and possessive side of nymphs, revealing how they could resort to extreme measures to get what they wanted, even challenging the gods.
Beyond stories of love and obsession, nymphs could also show their wrath in other ways. Let's talk about Lamia. Lamia was a beautiful queen of Libya and a lover of Zeus. When Hera discovered the affair, her revenge was cruel. She killed Lamia's children and turned her into a monster. Devastated, Lamia began to devour children, reflecting her pain and madness. Few know that, in some versions, Lamia was a nymph before her transformation. Her beauty was corrupted by tragedy, turning her into a symbol of vengeance and despair. Lamia's story reminds us that nymphs, often seen as benign, could become vengeful and dangerous beings capable of terrible actions when provoked. This reveals the complexity of these mythological figures, showing that even the most beautiful creatures can hide a deep darkness.
These stories of vengeance and wrath from the nymphs show that in Greek mythology, even the most beautiful creatures could harbor darkness and danger. To conclude, think of nymphs as guardians of nature and justice. They weren't just enchanting beings. They possessed a power that could be both beneficial and destructive. Their actions, driven by love, jealousy, or a desire for revenge, remind us that beauty and power are often intertwined. These narratives challenge us to look beyond the surface, revealing that each myth carries lessons about human nature, justice, and retribution. The Dark Side of Nymphs shows us that their stories are as relevant today as they were in ancient times. So, the next time you hear about nymphs, remember, behind every beautiful face, there may be a story of vengeance and wrath waiting to be told. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and comment on what you thought of the video and suggest new topics. Your participation is essential for us to bring even better content. See you in the next video. Bye.